Hi everyone, my name is Danny from Danny's Book Corner, and today I'm going to be bringing you my January wrap-up and February TBR. So in the month of January, I wasn't really able to read a lot of books because I was pretty busy. I was running track, and then I had midterms in January, and it was just a lot going on. But I was able to read one book, and that was The Young Elites by Marie Lu, and I'm just really glad I got to really read a really good book this month. Rather than reading like maybe two like meh books. Really enjoyed this book. This was actually a gift from my friend for Christmas, and I immediately picked it up because she knows how much I love legend, and I just immediately fell in love with Marie Lu's writing yet again. But this book is about a girl named Adelina, and in this world, when Adelina was young, there was a blood fever, and the doctor had to cut out her eye in order to save the rest of herself. So she's left with a scar for the rest of her life. And most of the people that got the blood fever either died or they were left with scars and are known as Malfettos. So Adelina is a Malfetto. Her sister contracted the blood fever but did not get any scars, and she's been jealous of her because she gets treated very well by her father and Adelina does not. Adelina is actually kind of abused by her father a little bit. But then Adelina finally lets out all her emotions and everything that she's been hiding, that she's been keeping hidden inside of herself, and she actually goes out and kills her father. And then she is taken by the government, the Inquisition, and is in prison until she will be put to the stake for killing her father. But as she is about to be killed by the Inquisition, the Young Elites save her. The Elites are a group of Malfettos that have supernatural powers, and they save Adelina, and Adelina discovers that she is actually one of them. So this book is just so good. It's so much more dark than legend. These two books are nowhere near being the same thing. Like, this is way more dark, and this is I wouldn't want to say this is a little more lighthearted, but this focuses more on war and like politics, and this really focuses more on emotions. This book was just so good. Like, Marie Lu really improved her writing so much. I loved it that much more because she really did a great job with writing from Adelina's point of view and really showing her emotions and everything that's going on in her mind. Because Adelina really has so many emotions pent up inside of her that she's never really unleashed. All of the characters are great. Like, even some of the minor characters, Marie Lu characterizes them so well, and you really get to know them, even though they really don't say or do very much, but you get to know them, all the characters, so well. And it's just so fantastic. Oh my god, it's just so fantastic. Like, I need the second book, which is called The Rose Society. I need it in my life, like, right now. I highly recommend this book, and of course, I rated it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. For my February TBR, I am currently reading Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, and I immediately picked this up like 2 days after this book came out because it actually released on my birthday. I just fell in love with Susan Dennard's writing as soon as I picked it up. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so good. Basically, these are about two girls that they're really good friends, and one of them is a truth witch, the other is a thread witch. The truth witch has to be careful because she could be used by the government because she can discern truth from lie, and of course anyone will want to have that on their side so they know if anyone's lying to them. And then the thread witch, she just helps to guide her friend, the truth witch, because without her she really doesn't make that really great decisions. So this is just so good, and it's a really epic fantasy novel, and for whatever reason, the winter makes me want to read like epic fantasy novels. I don't know what it is, but I'm just in the mood for epic fantasy right now. So that's what I'm reading, because The Young Elites is another really high epic fantasy novel. This book is so good, and this is actually inspired by Susan Dennard's friendship with Sarah J. Maas, yet another young adult fantasy writer. And oh my gosh, Like, they are literally friendship goals, and that's why part of the reason I cut this book. And it's also got a really gorgeous cover, and it has a map. Fantasy books that have maps make me really happy, so I can actually see where they're actually going. So that's really great. The only problem that a lot of people have said they have with this book is because there's so many other types of witches other than truth witches, and thread witches is like blood witches and wind witches and fire witches, earth witches. There's a lot of them, okay? So a lot of people said it'd be helpful if there was like a glossary in the back, which would be really helpful. I wonder if someone made a wiki. That would help too. Someone made a wiki, that'd be great. Someone do that. If it hasn't already been created. So I'm just really looking forward to finishing Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. Also taking place in the 2016 TBR Jar challenge. So actually for February, my challenge was to read a book published in 2016, which I chose Truth Witch, but that I didn't get to read it. So I'm just gonna put the read a novel published this year in 2016 thing back in here, and we're gonna shake this up and figure out what I have to do for February, and hopefully I'll actually do it this time. Okay, so picking read someone's favorite book. Okay, I have a lot for this one, so I don't know what I should do for this one, because like my English teacher has the To Kill a Mockingbird is her favorite book. I've already read one of my good friends' favorite book. Another friend who has a bunch of favorite books. I could probably read one of those. The Bright Places. There's probably so many other ones. I'll ask her. I'll figure this out. Don't worry. I'll figure it out. Some other books that I want to be reading this month. Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, because as you can tell, I'm in a fantasy mood this month. So I just want to read another fantasy novel, and a bunch of people really love Leigh Bardugo's writing. So I think I'll give it a go. I want to finish The Program by Suzanne Young this month, because I started it, but then I kind of stopped once I read The Young Elite, when I jumped into The Young Elites. So I'm planning to finish this one. That, guys, is my January wrap-up and February TBR. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Please like this video and subscribe if you want to see more videos. And I will leave all my social media links down below if you want to follow me other places on the